All praises and glory to
Yahweh,
Ba'ashem, Yahushai,
Ba'ashem,
Ha,
Rakah,
Kodash. Double honors to our apostles and elders of great millstone, which taught us the truth. And shalom to the hopeful elect of the nation of Israel. May you endure to the end. Shalom.
Shalom.
All right, we're going to go into Revelation 9.
Let me get that one.
Go ahead. If you want to grab Revelation 20, you want to read Revelation 91?
Yeah, Revelation
20.
chapter 9 and verse 1. And the fifth angel sounded, and I saw a star fall from heaven unto the earth, and to him was given the key of the bottomless pit. And he opened the bottomless pit, and there arose a smoke out of the pit, as the smoke of a great furnace, and the sun and the air were darkened by reason of the smoke of the pit.
Alright, so that bottomless pit is who?
Europe.
Europe. And what is it going into? World War I. Alright? You'll call grab Revelation 21. 20 verse 1.
Revelation chapter 20 verse 1. And I saw an angel come down from heaven, having the key of the bottomless pit and a great chain in his hand. And he laid hold on the dragon, that old serpent, which is the devil and Satan, and bound him 1,000 years.
Right. So this is going into Esau. Revelation 20 is talking about literally them being cast into that bottomless pit. But it shows you who that is in the bottomless pit is Esau. Okay? And that Esau is known as the old serpent, the dragon, which is the devil, and Satan. Alright? And in this verse here, it goes into World War I. Now go on with that Revelation 9.
Revelation chapter 9 and verse 3. And there came out of the
Because
smoke.
you got to remember, this is them coming out of the bottomless pit. It says in verse 1. It said, and to him was given the key of the bottomless pit. And the key is to what? Opening it up so that they could start to go to war with each other.
And there came out of the smoke locusts upon the earth, and unto them was given power, as the scorpions of the earth have power.
Right, so how does a scorpion attack its...
With his tail.
Right, with his tail. Which, this is going into the planes of World War I.
They call
Alright.
dog fighters.
Yep, dog fighters.
They had guns at the back of their plane as well as the front.
Like that movie Mummy. Remember he's shooting the face? With
Yeah.
that gun in the back of it?
The pilot was in the front, and then the gun, they started with the guns in the back, a man with the actual handgun.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't even have a gun on the front, on the actual thing. It evolved into that.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
They actually took handgun, like shotguns.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
they used to drop bombs, just
Mhm.
like Molotov cocktails.
Yep. Alright, so that's what it's talking about. This is the locust it's talking about. Alright, they're called dog fighters. Alright, go ahead.
And it was commanded them that they should not hurt the grass of the earth, neither any green thing, neither any tree, but only those men which have not the seal of the Most High in their foreheads.
Right. So only ones that they were allowed to kill were not of the hopeful elect. Because you had men back then that were Jake. The Jake we're talking about are the Israelites, so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians, which have been scattered throughout the world of slavery. They had them in this war as dog fighters, as soldiers. And so they were not allowed to die so that they could carry on the seed for the elect's sake. You call? Grab Exodus 20, verse... Go ahead and start at verse 5.
In the book of Exodus 20, verse 5, thou shalt not bow down thyself to them, nor serve them. For I, the Lord Jehovah thy power, am a jealous power, visiting the iniquity of the fathers upon the children unto the third and fourth generation of them that hate me, and shewing mercy unto thousands of them that love me and keep my commandments.
So, as it said, he goes unto the fourth, third, and fourth generation because the Bible tells you of reincarnation. Alright? So those men that were in World War I were going to have offspring eventually that were going to be hopeful like men in these last days. Alright? So, to bless them, alright, he put it out in Revelation 9 that they were going to not die in that war.
It says, but only those men which have not the seal of the Most High in their foreheads.
Which also he read in here that the Lord Yahweh and the jealous power visiting the iniquity of the fathers upon the sons unto the third and fourth generation of them that hate me. So he'll put you to death if you don't love him. All right, if you're not an elect, a hopeful elect, he's going to put you to death. He'll put your forefather to death. All right?
I was watching a movie yesterday called A Hitcher on that Peacock, and I didn't expect it, but it says, the Lord will fuck you up. In the beginning, the Lord will fuck you up.
And you got to remember, this is prophecy. From the island of Patmos, John the Revelator was given this prophecy of World War I and eventually World War II and World War III. Alright? So that shows you that these scriptures are holy and true. And they are prophetic.
Before the World War I.
Right? That's why he called it locusts, because they didn't have planes like that.
Or he didn't know what a missile was.
Right, so he described it to what he knew best in that time. Alright, go ahead.
This is Revelation chapter 9, verse 5 now. And to them it was given that they should not kill them, but that they should be tormented 5 months, and their torment was as the torment of a scorpion when he striketh a man.
So this don't mean that they're not literally killing them. What it means is they're not killing the nation.
Like the whole nation of Esau.
Right. But what they were doing was they were coming down and hitting them with them bullets.
And the 5 months is 5 years.
For 5 years.
1914 to 1919.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
And in those days shall men seek death and shall not find it.
Right, because what happened? They got hit by them bullets. Tore off their legs.
There's like pictures back in the Gettysburg War of men with their face blown off, and they made these masks. So they have like a regular face because their face was caved in.
Right. So there's and a good example the outer apostle Tahar gave was in Dead Presidents. Made me also think of that guy in with Tom Hanks.
Oh, where he crashes Vanilla Sky?
No, with Tom Hanks where he's in every day is like a chocolate.
Oh,
Forrest Gump.
Yep.
Remember they go to Vietnam and that dude gets all shot up and then he wants to die in that bed.
And he's an alcoholic afterwards?
Yeah. They want to die after they're all fucked up from war. Especially back then because they didn't have the techniques or the technology of today.
Oh yeah, and the Al Tahar was, our Apostle Tahar was going into the pain.
You only had liquor back then.
Yeah, they didn't have oxycodone or morphine.
Yeah. Now they have more stronger medicine.
I just watched.
But even the ones today that are in bedridden, they can't move. They desire to die.
Oh, your family members have to wipe your ass and shit? You don't want that happening.
No, so this is talking about people that are bedridden and they actually desire to die but cannot find it.
And shall desire to die, and death shall flee from them. And the shapes of the locusts were like unto horses prepared unto battle.
So when you would prepare a horse for battle, you would
Metal
do
on
what? Put metal armor on him.
And on their heads were, as it wore, crowns of like gold, and their faces were as the faces of men.
Now I'm gonna pull up the heads because in that locust, in those planes of World War One, the dogfighters, you didn't have a capsule that covered them. Their head was actually sticking out of the
Probably
plane.
just a windshield.
Yeah, but so it's a man that was driving the plane, and then they had the hat, which they said
The helmet.
right. The helmet, German soldier helmet.
And they had hair as the hair of women, and their teeth were as the teeth of lions.
Right. So here's the hat. Let me get the one with the hair. Okay. Let me see if I can find it real quick. Let's put it with hair. There it is. Alright. So they were wearing hats like this, flying those planes. See?
That must have been a crazy vision he had, huh?
Dang, it's British.
This one is German.
Oh, German.
Right. And
Teeth of lions.
see, the line is those bullets. You know, they were pretty much dumping all those bullets out of that plane. And
And-
eventually it went from the shotgun or the little Tommy gun to actually machine gun set.
Oh yeah, like the 50 cal
Bout fed.
BMG and
Oh,
That's what
yeah.
you would see, a bout fed.
Or they didn't have. Yeah, they had that 50 cal back then.
Yeah.
And they had breastplates, as it wore, breastplates of iron, and the sound of their wings was as the sound of chariots of many horses
Which is
running
allowed.
to battle.
It's a loud plane.
Yeah, because they didn't have the muffler systems back then.
Yeah.
Smoke coming out and shit.
Yeah.
And they had tails like unto scorpions.
Because the pilot sat in the front and the gunner in the back.
Shooting behind him because those other planes were chasing him.
Right.
And there were stings in their tails, and their power was to hurt men 5 months.
Which is that 5 years of war, of World War One.
And they had a king over them, which is the angel of the bottomless pit, whose name in the Hebrew tongue is Abaddon, but in the Greek tongue hath his name Apollyon.
Right, so that is Kaiser William II. Alright? He was actually known for pretty much starting World War One. Let me get the picture of him. See? This man here. This is the angel of the bottomless pit, known as Apollyon or Abaddon, the destroyer. Right? Remember I showed you all earlier?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that guy. Yeah.
Yeah. Let me read this.
German.
This is from Wikipedia. It says his tactless public statements and erratic foreign policy greatly antagonized the international community and are considered by many to be one of the underlying causes for World War One. That's why he's the messenger of the bottomless pit. He came out of Europe, Germany, and he pretty much antagonized World War One. That's why he's considered Apollyon, the destroyer. Okay? Go ahead.
One woe is past,
So that's World War One.
and behold, there come 2 woes more hereafter.
Right, so there's going to be a World War II, which is with the same countries, and then a World War III. Go ahead.
And the 6th angel sounded, and I heard a voice from the four horns of the golden altar which is before the Most High, saying to the sixth angel which had the trumpet, loose the four angels which are bound in the great river Euphrates. And
Right, and Euphrates is where? In the out east by Israel. It's actually goes through the land of Israel. Alright? The biblical land of Israel. Alright? And what it is it's gonna be World War III.
gonna start out there.
Right?
And the four angels, I just seen a thing a couple days ago. Israel,
Revelation 16 verse we'll start at 12.
15?
16.
Israel just made like $15 billion to strike Iran. Just like a couple days ago I seen that. And the four angels were loosed which were prepared for an hour and a day and a month and a year for to slay the third part of men.
So that's going to be the destruction of Esau that's here in America. Hold that real quick. Go ahead, your call.
Revelation chapter 16 verse 12, and the sixth angel poured out his vial upon the great rivers Euphrates,
The river Euphrates.
and the waters thereof was dried up, that the way of the kings of the east might be prepared.
And who's that? All those nations that are on east of Euphrates.
I seen a thing where it's actually drying up.
Right. And it's for Russia, China, all these nations that are on the east side of the Euphrates to march over into the land of Israel. Go ahead.
And I saw three unclean spirits like frogs come out of the mouth of the dragon, and out of the mouth of the beast, and out of the mouth of the false prophet.
So just like back then, how was war enticed? Through their mouth. So that's what's going to happen. They're going to pretty much, their mouths are going to write checks that their ass can't cash.
What did Biden say? We're gonna go to war with Russia?
China. Yeah, he said Russia too. Right? So they're going to do this through, it's going to be pretty much through the mouth and then into actual physical combat. Go ahead.
For they are the spirits of devils working miracles, which go forth unto the kings of the earth and of the whole world, to gather them to the battle of that great day of Yahweh Almighty. Behold, I come as a thief. Blessed is he that watcheth and keepeth his garments,
Which is the faith of
lest
this doctrine, okay? The truth. The light came into the world. Yahweh Shai has been revealed to the world through his prophets. Go ahead.
lest he walk naked and they see his shame. And he gathered them together into a place called in the Hebrew tongue Armageddon.
Right, Armageddon, which means a mountain of troops. Go ahead.
And the seventh angel poured out his vial into the air, and there came a great voice out of the temple of heaven from the throne, saying, It is done. And there were voices and thunders and lightning, and there was a great earthquake, such as was not since men were upon the earth, so mighty an earthquake and so great.
Right, which is going to be nuclear destruction. Alright? Those nuclear missiles are going to fall upon the chariot fire. Nuclear missiles are going to hit that land of Israel. Alright? Go ahead.
And America. America's main.
America's going to get it the worst.
Yeah.
But that land of Israel is going to get tossed up too.
And the great city was divided into three parts, and the cities of the nations fell.
Because you got to remember, who's America's main ally?
Israel.
Israel. They call America what? Big Satan?
Oh yeah.
And Israel little Satan.
And great Babylon came in remembrance before God, Yahweh, to give unto her the cup of the wine of the fierceness of his wrath.
Right, which is going to be Yahweh Shai coming into this reality and America being destroyed at that coming. Alright? So once again, like the brother said, America is going to get hit with missiles just like Israel is going to get hit with missiles.
Con.
All right.
And every
But America's gonna get it the worst.
Yeah, the most.
Yeah.
The worst, yeah.
and every island fled away, and the mountains were not found.
Because those nuclear missiles, they actually have a pretty much a wind that comes with them that wipes everything away.
It'll rip your flesh off your body.
And there fell upon men a great hail out of heaven, every stone about the weight of a talent, and men blasphemed Yahweh because of the plague of the hail, for the plague thereof was exceeding great.
Right? And then when you go into the next chapter, 1 verse.
This is Revelation chapter 17, verse 1. And there came one of the 7 angels which had the 7 vials, and talked with me, saying unto me, Come hither, I will shew unto thee the judgment of the great whore that sitteth upon many waters.
Which is America, and that many waters is people. The European nation, European Union, I should say, and NATO. Okay? Jump down to verse 16. So this is the judgment of the whore. America. Go ahead.
Revelation chapter 16, verse 16.
Because what happened in World War I with America? It came out
Wasn't that
victorious.
17?
Revelation 17, verse 16. But what happened to America in World War I
They got
and
sucked
World
in.
War II? They got pulled in, but they were victorious.
Oh, yeah.
This one, World War III, they're going to fail. They're going to lose World War III. Go ahead.
You said Revelation chapter 17?
Verse 16.
Revelation 17, verse 16. This reads, And the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore, and shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh, and burn her with fire.
With what? Those missiles. Alright? Now,
Can I get one quick one?
go ahead.
This is Isaiah chapter 9 and verse 5. For every battle of the warrior is with confused noise and garments rolled in blood. But this shall be with burning and fuel of fire.
Right, because we went in it earlier. They shall see death and not find it. That's because they're getting around to the leg, around to the body, right? Around that they're able to
Might
survive.
just tear off their jaw and they can't eat nothing.
They survive, but they still are in pain.
Yeah.
This one here is going to melt their flesh right off their bodies while they're on their feet. Why? ICBM missiles. Intercontinental ballistic missiles. Go to Joel 3. You call.
Joel 3. Because that's in the Old Testament.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll get this while he's getting that. Zechariah chapter 14 and verse 12. And this shall be the plague wherewith Yahweh will smite all the people that have fought against Jerusalem. Their flesh shall consume away while they stand upon their feet, and their eyes shall consume away in their holes, and their tongue shall consume away in their mouth before they hit the ground.
And that's even going in to America. Because when you go into Zechariah 13, it's talking about the 1/3 and the 2/3, which are in America.
Oh, yeah, 13,
And then you go into the 14th chapter, it tells you that the soldiers are going to rifle the houses and rape the women. And those soldiers that are here in America are going to suffer that like they're going to suffer that in Israel. You got that?
Joel 3, verse 1.
Yeah.
Con. It says, For behold, in those days and in that time when I shall bring again the captivity of Judah and Jerusalem.
Which is now, they're bringing forth a new captivity, which is what? Through that mark of the beast.
Con.
Alright? This is a new captivity. They're telling you, you gotta accept their mark to be part of their new world order. Go ahead.
I will also gather all nations and will bring them down into the valley of Jehoshaphat.
Right, which is Yahweh Mashaphat, Yahweh's judgment.
And will plead with them there for my people and for my heritage Israel.
And that's why it's called Armageddon, because in that valley of Jehoshaphat, you're going to have a mountain of troops, an unnumberable amount of men gathered to fight Yahweh Shai and the angels.
And in a flash, they're gonna be dead.
They're going to cook. Chariot fire, missile fire.
It says, and when I saw this, I was afraid.
Mm-hmm.
Whom they have scattered among the nations and parted my land.
Mm-hmm.
And they have cast lots for my people, and have given a boy for an harlot, and sold a girl for wine, and that they might drink.
Right, so they pretty much sold us in slavery, and they freaking defiled our people. Go ahead.
Yea, and what have ye to do with me, O Tyre and Zidon, and all the coast of Philistine? Will
Palestine.
Philistine.
It's Palestine.
Oh, Palestine. Got it. Will ye render me a recompense? And if ye recompense me swiftly and speedily, will I return your recompense upon your own head.
Which they're doing it right now. They're trying to destroy his children. Because who's in the land of Israel? Those Jewish rats.
Mm-hmm.
And they're the actual money bags for this missiles. Because the Rothschilds, who else is it? The wicked, you know? These are Jewish rats that support that. Destruction of the Israelites. See?
Why do you think they're coming after him with the jab?
Right.
Go ahead. Because ye have taken my silver and my gold, and have carried into your temples my goodly pleasant things. The children also of Judah and the children of Jerusalem have ye sold unto the Grecians, that ye might
Right,
remove.
because who was in the land of Tyre and Sidon and Palestine first? Ham. That was called the land of Canaan. So what are these Americans calling themselves today? They're spiritually Egypt. See? So what they did was exactly what the Egyptians did. And you know who funded the ships, the slave ships? These Jewish rats.
The first one was called Jesus.
Jesus, right. The Jewish bankers always fund our destruction. See? And they do it in the image of Egypt. Just how Egypt had us in slavery. That's why on the dollar, you get the pyramid and all that shit.
Yeah, what the hell's a pyramid got to do with America?
Right. And they sold them to the Grecians, which were the Greeks. Okay? Go ahead.
Sold unto the Grecians, that ye might remove them far from their border.
Right. We're from the land of Israel. How did we get here? On ships. Let me grab that real quick. Deuteronomy 28. That's how you know these scriptures are true. They literally came to pass. They're faithful and true. It says in Deuteronomy 28, verse 28, it says, "And Yahweh rooted them out of their land in anger and in wrath and in great indignation, and cast them into another land, as it is this day. The secret things belong unto Yahweh our power, but those things which are revealed belong unto us, to our sons, forever, that we may do all the works of this law." Which, I'm sorry, that's 29. 28. 68. "And Yahweh shall bring thee," but that have the point of us being moved out of our land, you know? That's why I kept reading it. But verse 68, "And Yahweh shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships, by the way whereof I spake unto thee, thou shalt see it no more again." Why? Because we were moved out of our land. Why? Because we sinned against our Father Yahweh in our land. It says, and that Egypt is not talking about Egypt in Africa. It's talking about America. It says, by the way whereof I spake unto thee, thou shalt see it no more again. And how did they gather us on the ships? Ham, Ishmael, and they sold us to who? The Edomites. It says, thou shalt see it no more again. And you know, you even had Israelite hunting the Israelites to put them in slavery. See? It says, and there ye shall be sold unto your enemies, talking about here in America, you will become a slave sold unto your enemies for bondmen and bondwomen, and no man shall buy you, meaning save you out of it. All right?
Only Yahweh Shai could do that.
Right, that's why that Abraham Lincoln bullshit about him abolishing slavery, that was a bunch of bullshit. All he did was take you from being individually owned to corporately owned. See?
That's why you get that birth certificate with all capital letters.
Right. Social Security card,
All
Same
capital.
and that big red number on the back of it. Because that's your number. That's actually how they know who you are, is through that number. If you look it up in the treasury, there's actually money on your name, right, in the thousands. And it goes up with the more shit you buy. See, the more you're in debt, the more they make off of you. Because you belong to them. See? That's why they can come in and fucking take your children. That's why they can come in and say that they'll tell you you can't kill yourself because you belong to them.
Oh, that's why murder, you get a high freaking bond, a high freaking
Right?
prison sentence, because you took their property away.
And that's why they can command you to eat a certain way, to wear a seatbelt, because you are their produce. See? So you're still a slave today in 2021.
You just think you're free.
Right. You still can't leave the country without their permission. You see? Should the cop pull
Marriage
you over?
license.
The cop pull you over, he's going to look for what? ID. Right? License. Why are you driving this car? Where are you going from? Where'd you
Registration.
come from?
License, registration, and insurance.
And who's in this car with you? And why? Because you're not free.
I've seen on cops before. Where you going? And the guy goes, what the hell do you care where I'm going?
And see, Esau could do that. Let Jake do that. He'll get his fucking head cracked. You know? Go ahead.
Joel 3 verse 7, behold, I will raise them out of the place whither ye have sold them, and will return your recompense upon your own head.
Which is happening right now. We're being raised up out of this land spiritually, but eventually there's going to come a day where we're physically taken up out of this land because it's going to be destroyed. After they make it mandatory that you have that implantable microchip, which is the mark of the beast for buying and selling. Yahweh Shai is going to pick us up. He's going to send his angels to gather us.
And I will sell your sons and your daughters